welcome to High Voltage Adventures. Please subscribe. Hey everyone, today me and Shuggy are at the Dixie Jewels Insulator Club swap in Soddy-Daisy, Tennessee. I've been collecting insulators since I was a kid, and I've known a lot of these people for many years, and we always have a great time together. So let's go check out all the cool old antique glass insulators at the swap. And porcelain. Thanks for watching. For anyone that doesn't know what insulators were made for telegraph lines as early as the 1840s, and then for telephone lines and electric lines and for radios and any kind of electrical applications that they were needed for. So let's check them out. Here's a really beautiful CD-112 star that was made in the early 1900s. Check out the awesome amber swirling in the glass. It was recently found in an antique store by a fellow club member. Next we have Ralph Dean and Dudley Ellis's table. Ralph had a lot of beautiful insulators here in his light cabinet. There's a big mouth there. It's $125, the clear one there. And a nice CD-125 and a beautiful cobalt blue signal. It had a really intense cobalt blue color, and it was priced at $500. That was one of my favorite insulators at the swap. It's a pretty amber signal. And this 7-Up green insulator here, I found some of those when I was a teenager along the Santa Fe Railroad in Texas. They were fun to find while the poles were still up. There's some pretty carnival glass insulators there. And a couple nice milk glass insulators that were made by Madewell. And this insulator here was made for the Postal Telegraph Company, and it was priced at $28, it looked like. Here's a green Hemingway 42. It was $20. And a variety of knobs and spools. Here's some of Dudley Ellis's insulators. Dudley is known as the Pony Man, and he had lots of nice ponies for sale and other signals and a variety of items. I love this CD-153 Brookfield. You don't see these very often, and it was only $35, it looks like. There's a nice Hemingway signal in amber. And lots of other signals. This EC&M telegraph insulator from California was made in the 1870s. It was $425. It had an abundance of amber swirling in it, olive amber swirling, which is unusual. I'm sure someone would love to have that. There's a nice beehive made by the New England Glass Manufacturing Company. It was $325. Here's some more of Dudley Ellis's insulators. He had some great ponies here for sale. This teal colored one was from Canada, and it was $350. This is a odd one you don't see very often. It was priced at $375. Here's another green diamond pony from Canada in a nice color. And I love this purple one here from Canada. It was $55. And here's an Ohio Valley Glass Company CD106 for $45 in a nice shade of green. And here's a nice lilac colored Hemingway for $150. And this one's from California. It was $65. Here's my table. Found this in one of our recent videos. And some more different stuff here. This is a transformer from the 19-teens. Here's a lightning arrestor. Nice switch. Some more lightning arresters, radio lightning arresters, and radio strains.
Well, I guess a bad neighborhood looks like.
Yeah. You gotta put up with us down somehow.
Yeah.
Some Johnny Ball strains that were dug in Jacksonville, Florida.
No incidents on the way up. Well, this time, that's always good. Well, that's about as purple as you're gonna get.
And I brought this purple bullet here. It was found recently in Pennsylvania in a barn.
Over right here,
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna put the fruits and stuff over here.
And that's the one Shuggy found a while back in one of our videos. Here's an early Thomas suspension insulator I got at the swap. And this was Dave Stramsky's table. Dave had a large variety of great glass insulators, including this Hemingway transposition. And this beautiful 7-Up green Hemingway signal from the 1930s. These are Brookfield Exchange insulators. And a big power insulator here. A little cable there was $25. There's a pretty green star signal for $35. I love this Lynchburg CD106 from the 1920s. It was $100. And this glass tree cutter insulator isn't something you see that often for sale. And here's a nice threadless from Canada. And another threadless insulator from the mid-1860s. I love the color of this one. It had a little bit of damage, so it was priced at $100. And Dave had plenty of small corkscrews here that he personally dug along the line in New Jersey years ago. and a solid pour I believe he probably dug at the Brookfield dump in New Jersey. This one was made for the New England Telephone and Telegraph Company. There's another little corkscrew. Some lightning rod insulators, a nice McLaughlin, and I love these Floy insulators that were made for an early electric line. This was Ken Roberts' light cabinet on his sales table. I love that Birmingham CD 106. Ken also had a little corkscrew insulator there. And he had a large variety of toll insulators in various colors for sale. I love that California there. It's a beautiful color. So many great insulators to choose from. I love that brick-filled purple crown embossed beehive there. Ken wanted $375 for it. And these cobalt signals are beautiful. This is part of Ken's sales table. Ken always has a great variety of glass and porcelain insulators to choose from. This is a universal fire plug. It was $15. And some nice old bullets there. Patent December 19, 1871. And a Chicago diamond groove signal. Many of these were used in Denver, Colorado in the early 1900s. And this brick-filled insulator dates back to the late 1860s or early 1870s. It has patent July 25th, 1865 on it. It's a nice variety of beehives he had for sale. This was made by Brookfield in the 19 teens. And a pink white ultimatum used along a Central Georgia Railroad line from the 1920s in pink. And some California Glass Insulator Company insulators from the early 1900s. And a variety of colorful signals. Many of these were used on early electric lines, lower voltage electric lines like this one from Canada here in this beautiful royal purple. They were popular in the late 1800s and all through the early 1900s into the 19 teens and 1920s. That purple one there was from Colorado. I like this one here. I actually bought it. It was $20. And some Hemingway carnival glass insulators. And these here are called doorknobs. That's what collectors call them. And a variety of transposition insulators made for telephone lines during the early 1900s, and a variety of glass cable style insulators here, and a couple porcelain insulators. These were also Ken Roberts insulators. Had some Mickey Mouses, a Provo, and a Converse. And these were a Muncie and a Cooley hat. They were used on power lines in Montana and date from the early 1900s, made by Hemingway. Some were used on lines for over 100 years. And this cable insulator was used in Boston. There's a Mershon there in the back. And he also had a couple porcelain insulators there. One was a dry spot, and the other was an early insulator made for Fred Locke. I believe Imperial made it. I like the patent dates here in the cable top wire groove here. It's a neat old style. And some glass battery jars. This was our show host, Bill Haley's table. Thanks again, Bill, for hosting the swap for us. He had this beautiful frog eye insulator in amber. It was $75. And there's an ever popular Mickey Mouse in aqua and clear. And a crab beehive there with some junk in it. And a penny quick keg there for $35. I like that blue American beehive he had. And this pretty California signal. Gotta love those old bullets with the 1871 patent. He wanted $35 for it. And there's some older Brookfield styles there. And some diamond ponies from Canada. In a variety of colors. And this green signal down here was from Mexico. And the spool insulator here on the right is from France. He wanted $65 for it. Those here in the middle were commemoratives made for national shows, and some beautiful carnival glass insulators here that were made by Pyrex. And some pretty porcelain insulators. Miscellaneous porcelain was $3, and the crab beehives there on the left were $5 each, and these were $2 each. The proceeds went to the Daisy United Methodist Church where the swap was held. And the one who was voted most handsome at the swap, this was John Gasco's table. Congratulations, John, on your award. And he had a lot of great glass for sale here. This EC&M from California from the 1870s was a real looker. And more of John's stuff here. I like his underlit display he had here. I need to get me one of those for my table. I got this porcelain spool at the swap with this funky glaze on it. Next we have Dave Collins' table. Dave had some really great California insulators that he recently purchased in a collection. Here were some colorful signals he had. That cobalt blue was $425. I like his underlit display there too. Here's another CD 135 Chicago Diamond Groove. Those are always popular with collectors. And this beauty here was a Mulford & Biddle threadless insulator from the 1860s. Many of them were used along the Transcontinental Railroad line out in Wyoming and Utah. Dave was asking $500 for it. I love this California power insulator here. This Santa Ana in a beautiful color. And these green CD 151s were found in Colorado on railroad lines. And here's a nice California helmet. And some more pretty California glass signals. I bought this cast iron bracket from the early 1900s at the swap. This was Tim Baggett's table. He had some pretty yellow porcelain products, cable insulators, and some cobalt porcelain insulators, and some Mickey Mouses here. This one was $45. And some more of Tim's. There's a little lightning rod spool there.
$18.76. It's the only year they ever made it. I adjusted it and then ground it.
Same color.
Here's Bill's table. It's a nice Lynchburg there. I actually found some just like it in a L&N railroad yard in Cartersville, Georgia.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah, it is. They were fun to find too. If I remember right, there was 2 or 3 on every cross arm. They were a lot of fun to find. Sadly, all those poles are gone now. Some nice Denver tolls here.
Glad we got these down before they wrecked out those lines.
Oh yeah. Here's a beautiful Our Good toll from Denver, Colorado. I love those. This one's nice too. WFG Co. Denver, Colorado. Some nice Brookfield CD 101s. All right. And here's a insulator made for the B&O Telegraph Company, made by Brookfield. This is Jason Stevens' table.
I got the bushings, probably when about lucky to have the middle part.
3 hours before she started.
Yeah, you got money there, bub. You gonna buy me a couple broken?
Yeah,
They $1 a piece. You find something you wanted there? It'll work. I like to see if we do children. Children's in there. Get what they do.
I believe the only one that really got it.
Hey, let you know, I'll leave it to the show.
So that one's been irradiated. It is not. That is not the original color.
Sounds like the wife's sleeping in.
This is Ray Harris's table. It's nice, threadless.
Yeah, it turned out beautiful.
It's an LED.
Transposition.
But the beauty of it is it runs off a battery. I got it with.
American Insulator Company. Like these. It's a nice American beehive. Pretty blue.
It's an LED. It's actually 5,000K. And you got one that plugs in the wall.
We're supposed to know which is which.
This is
So you can adjust it. Yeah, like this one I can't change like circuit board controls.
That's impossible.
What's that?
That's an impossible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is nice.
I think they call that an emerald.
Real bubbly. It's a beauty.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Man. Like that one. Some more transpositions. This one's from Mexico.
That'll do it.
Got a crack in
It
it.
always has some oddball, interesting stuff.
Lynchburgs. Lots of good stuff. Here's Tom's table. It's got some pretty glass in the light box here. Love these Mickey Mouses. Ember Swirl Brookville. It's nice Ohio brass. All right, $1 each. I bought these beautiful glazed porcelain spools of the swap and some radio strains here. And there's me and Dudley. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Keep watching in the future for more antique hunting and insulator hunting videos. Until next time, see you guys.